Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to this episode of the Chelsea career, in which we possibly could be winning the league. We'll definitely find out whether we win the league. We've got 3 London derby games in this episode to finish off the league, and then we also have a Champions League final at Wembley against Bayern Munich. So let's take a look in game. Here you can see all of those. It's away against Tottenham, away against Fulham, home against West Ham, and then of course the neutral venue versus Bayern. As you can see, I'm wearing the custom Chelsea top that is commemorating our Champions League win, the most recent one. So, exciting times. Let's skip ahead and get into that Tottenham game. So here's a fixture we are going to be keeping a very close eye on. Manchester United at home against Manchester City. If Man United win this one, they go into the top 4. They'll go into 4th position. So they'll be trying so hard for this, let alone the fact that it's a derby. And Man City, if they lose this one, they'll have 1 game left, and the maximum points they'd be able to accrue is 85. So that would mean that with 1 win, we would, assuming we don't, screw on goal difference or something, we would be winning the Premier League. So Man United, if they can do us a favour, now is the time to do it. I don't like them as a club, but it'll get a lot closer to me liking them if they manage to pull off a result against Man City here. And they do, a 3-1 win for Manchester United. That's probably the first time I've ever celebrated a Manchester United win. Phil Foden gets a consolation goal for Man City, but you can see they have had a torrid end of the season. They started off so good the first half, the second half losses here to Liverpool, Arsenal. You're seeing draw against West Ham there, Newcastle, Palace, Villa, United. It all just got a bit too much. And now that means we have got 3 games left. Manchester United have Man City have 1 game left. So it's looking very, very good for us. And I guess that means that we can, if we win, we go to 85 points. And depending on the goal difference in Man City's last game, we would have potentially won the game against Tottenham, but there's still a lot to do. We still have to face Tottenham, and everyone knows that a derby can sort of go either way. Form goes out the window, so we'll see how it goes. Let's skip into this game, and Nkunku's still not fit. He might be ready for the Champions League final, though, which is some good news. But barring our goal different advantage being overturned, we can become champions with a win in our next match against Tottenham. So this is a huge game. Of course, Nkunku not going to be able to play, but Conor Gallagher has been so clutch for us, especially in the Champions League, so we'll trust him to start this one. And I think that's our team as strong as it's going to get. Let's send them in to this game against Spurs. Spurs with the first highlight now there on the ball. Richarlison here getting tackled by Fofana though, and that is some good defensive play there. As we pick up the ball, find Enzo in a ton of room in the middle of the pitch now. He has a chance to get us ahead, but unfortunately the pass doesn't make it to Mudryk. Wow, that clearance has gone absolutely miles, and now Madueke is on the ball, looking to find Reece James. He does that. Enzo now, can he find a ball to unlock the defence? Not really. Caicedo, though, has a chance here. He drives towards the goal. Mudryk, now cutting inside, finds Caicedo, who finds Madueke, who shoots, and unfortunately cannot get past the keeper. We do get a corner from it, though. And it's Reece James who's set to take it. He whips it into the box, looking at the back post, but we cannot win that. Tottenham clear the ball here, and Colwill has a chance to just about pick it up ahead of Richarlison. Caicedo now going over the top for Madueke, and he's chipped it over the bar. A Spurs free kick now as they whip it into the box. They do win the header, but thankfully Diogo Costa, with some very safe hands there, manages to hold on to the ball. No silly little, palming it towards the attacker, as he has done a couple times this season. Chilwell, though, on the ball, looking to go forward, but he sort of lost all of his options there. It's now Colwill finding Fofana, finding Enzo. He goes back to Fofana, finding Enzo again. He has a chance to go forward, finding Madueke, finding Reece James. Now is a good chance to cross Reece James. Do it. He goes all the way into the box to Osimhen, and that's a combination that we were very used to seeing early on in the Premier League season, but it's sort of, tapered out. It was other people cropping up with the assists, but today it's the old classic Reece James to Osimhen. Oh, and Osimhen scores another goal here. There was that free kick whipped into the box, and it was headed. I thought the keeper was going to come out and get it, after the header towards sort of the goal area. We'll take a look at it here. I thought this first header, I thought the keeper was just going to come and collect it, but it turns out it actually went really wide, and Osimhen somehow sneaks it in at the near post. And that's half-time, we're 2-0 up, so things are looking really, really good at the moment. I'm going to give him a lot of praise, and we're just going to send them out into the second half. We do have to worry a little bit about fitness heading into the last games against Fulham and West Ham. Obviously, we don't want any injuries leading up to that Champions League final, but things are looking good in this second half. I think we'll make some changes now. We're in the 65th minute, and I'm going to bring off some key players. So let's bring Mudryk off. We'll bring Osimhen off as well. Enzo Fernandez for Lavia, and we'll switch him to cover a bit more defensively, and Malo Gusto for Reece James. Let's make a good few changes there. That is a massive 2-0 win against Tottenham, probably our hardest game left of the Premier League season. So we get a big win over our rivals, and that basically has secured us the Premier League title. Now Man City will have one game to, not only they have to win, but they would have to score more than 6 goals in that win, and I find that very unlikely. So it looks like the Premier League title has just been won at Tottenham. We'll see if we've got a very tight run of fixtures here, so we'll see if Man City have a game as well in this run, because if they have a game before our next one, it technically would mean that we've won it at Tottenham, which I would very much enjoy. I've been throwing in bids for Jamal Musiala, trying to throw the team off a little bit at Bayern, and also I wouldn't mind him as a player anyway if they did accept. But yeah, let's see what Man City's result comes in as. I've just checked, and Man City don't play until the 19th, so they will be playing the same day we play West Ham to finish off the season. So that will be the official, winning of the Premier League if, of course, Man City don't overturn it. No, it wouldn't. I'm being silly. It would be against Fulham, because we can actually go above their points calculation potential. So yeah, against Fulham, this one is actually right. Against Fulham away, we can win the Premier League title. Okay, here we are. We need just 1 point from this game to secure the title. So let's go ahead and pick our team. We're going to go with probably our strongest team. We're just going to go in as it is. I'm not going to make any changes. And I'm going to play Nkunku, who's just come back from fitness, so we need to get his sharpness up ready for that Champions League final. So we'll play him for a bit in this game as well. We'll be looking at making some substitutions, of course, because these players will get pretty tired. But overall, this should be good enough. And you know what? In fact, I'll make like 1, maybe 2 changes. Madueke can come off for Gnabry. And there we go. That looks a lot more manageable. Let's get into the game. And here's the first highlight just under 10 minutes in. And Reece James decides to be charitable today and give the ball directly to Fulham. But Colwell with some good defensive play there to make up for it. It is Fulham on the ball though, as they look to go forward with Fran Garcia. It should be ours to win here though. No, surprisingly, we don't win the ball back there. I thought we were going to with Gnabry on this wing, but I guess he has pressured them backwards at least, as they go forward now, looking to build, but Gallagher picks this ball up after a tackle from Colwell. Osimhen loses out. Looking a little bit sloppy today. Maybe it's the sort of fatigue from the amount of games that we've been playing. Mudryk on the ball now though, looking to go forward, but that does end up with Osimhen in the end actually, and he shoots from an absolute mile out, and what a rocket of a goal that is. Reece James with a throw-in now, this time does manage to find a Chelsea player, goes forward to Osimhen, and oh my gosh, he's just done some keepy-uppies in the box. They're going to check it for offside, but I don't think that will be given. It looked like Osimhen literally touches it maybe twice to do a couple of keepy-uppies, and then puts it in the back of the net, so we will watch this one. That was thrilling, and that's another assist for Reece James here. As he goes forward here, you can see touch once and touch twice, straight into the back of the net. Osimhen's on fire today. Colwell on the ball now as he finds Chilwell, going forward to Mudryk, finding Gallagher, back to Chilwell, looking very comfortable on the ball here as we have Enzo now going over the top to Mudryk. He crosses, nope, he decides to go on his own, and it ends up with, oh my god, how many shots did we have there? And not one of them in the back of the net, cleared off the line maybe 2-3 times. And Nkunku on the ball now gives it to Enzo, who's playing with the left-hand side of the pitch, seeing if we can maybe get a third goal in this game. Gallagher goes back all the way to Colwell, who finds Enzo, going out wide to Chilwell, and now through for Mudryk. It's a great chance here. He cuts it back, and that's Nkunku finding his form back after his injury. That's just what we want to see. Chilwell now with a throw-in who finds Mudryk, looking inside to Enzo, back over the top for Chilwell, but we don't get that one completed. It finds Nkunku on the edge of the box, and it's a bit of a crazy effort, but I don't blame him with 3-0 up. And unfortunately, right at the end of that half, Reece James took a knock. It said it could be pulled knee ligaments, so he's definitely coming off for Malo Gusto. I'm going to bring Osimhen off. I know he's on 2 goals, he's on for a hat-trick, but I'm not risking any of these players getting injured before that final. We'll play Lavia then, and we'll switch him to slightly more defensive. Mudryk going to come off for Nick Jackson, and Nkunku for Madueke, I guess, and we can switch Gnabry into the middle. Realistically, that's very stupid because that's all 5 of our substitutions made, but we are 3-0 up against a team that we are dominating, so I'm going to say we should hopefully be fine even if we concede 1 or 2. What a free kick position this is as Gnabry lines up to take it. Got to be fine in the back of the net from here. He shoots and it's over everything. Wow. And now Fulham have a chance from a free kick. Reed set to take this one. Can he show that he's better than Gnabry maybe? He shoots from distance and that also goes over everything. And just like we wanted, we've seen it out. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. A huge win for Chelsea. We have now completed the Premier League season, or I guess actually we've got one more game left to play, but we have won the competition. So this will be us set. Why have I got grey hair there? Oh, that's not me. That's the board member or something. I don't know who on our board has grey hair. But anyway, here it is, lifting the trophy. It's probably Reece James, our captain, and there it is. Huge performance from us this season to go and win the league. And we've still got a Champions League final to look forward to. So congratulations to the lads. It was a fantastic season. Still got one more game to see it out. We'll go back to Stamford Bridge with the trophy and see if we can get the clean sweep to end off the season. Absolutely brilliant with champions. I'll give them this one a bit more of a speech. That's always nice to see. So that is awesome. I'm just going to end the interview now. I just wanted to say one little thing. It's nice to win it. And there it is. We are officially winners of the Premier League. And we could go even further and win the Champions League as well. And here it is. The final Premier League game of the season is set to go underway. Man City with a game that really means nothing against Brighton. The things that are really on the line, because all of these teams have officially been relegated, so there's no relegation on the final day. There's no title race on the final day because we've already won it. There is, however, a bit of a top 4 battle, so Man United will be looking to get above Newcastle. They'll need them to drop points, however, and Man United would have to win their game against Sheffield United, who are 19th, but Newcastle play Bournemouth, who are 16th, so it's looking unlikely. But this will just be to shape the top 4 and the rest of the European slots. No massive games really on the cards. So let's get into our one. It's a London derby. And really the only thing on the line is the Golden Boot race. If Osimhen was to score, I think, about 6 goals without Haaland scoring any, he would tie with him in the goal scoring charts. So we'll see if it's possible. I am going to send us on very attacking just to see what's possible. And of course, then we'll look to make sure that all of our key players that we want rested will be rested, ready for the Champions League final. Going into this one, though, I think we're fine. We've got a really long break until the Champions League final anyway, so everyone will be nice and rested. We just want to avoid any injuries, so late in the game, we'll look to slow the game down. But this is our strongest 11. Let's get into it. We start off with a free kick. Chilwell whipping this one in. The ball sort of going around in the box. Zuma on the end of it, but it goes out to Chilwell in the end, who crosses, finds Madueke, but it's over the bar. West Ham with a goal kick now, although I guess it's probably a free kick more than a goal kick, and they look to go long, but it goes straight to Chilwell, who finds Mudryk, and he's driving towards goal here. We can have some fun with it today. We find Madueke, and he shoots, and it's in the back of the net. They're going to look to VAR this one, though, and just check whether there was an offside, I guess, that would disallow this one, but I'm over the moon, guys. We won the Premier League. That goal is awarded in the end, so that is awesome news. Moise Caicedo getting an assist and Madueke on the score sheet. It is now a chance for West Ham to get back into this game. Callum Hudson-Odoi, who we sold to them, is going to take this corner. He whips it in, and they do win the header, but we clear it out of the box, and that should be that. And to put more misery on Man City, they are 1-0 down against Brighton on the last day of the season. It's really looking iffy for them. And oh my gosh, what a finish from Nkunku there. The keeper came flying out to come and meet that, and Nkunku just chips it over him. We'll take a look at this from the other angle. It was all just from this free kick from Chilwell. Just puts it in a little bit of a dangerous area, and Nkunku just lifts it over the keeper. Very, very nice. And that should be... I mean, the game already sort of felt a bit... over the line, and it looked like we were going to be comfortably winning this one. But that is looking good for us. I would like to see Osimhen getting a couple of these goals, though, because he's the one that's chasing the golden boot, as Nkunku finds him, and he does just that. So we're 3-0 up inside 20 minutes. Can Osimhen do it? I think it's a little bit ambitious, maybe a bit crazy, but we'll see. Straight from kickoff, it is West Ham on the ball. Colwell wins that header and gets us possession back, though. And now we're going to look to attack ourselves again as the ball goes through for Mudryk here. He looks to cross, finds Osimhen in the box, and he's found another goal within about a minute. Oh my gosh, Osimhen is definitely going for it. We're 4-0 up in 20 minutes here. This is painful for West Ham, I'm sure. Nkunku on the ball now as we picked up another ball from their goalkeeper taking a free kick. And it is Colwell now finding Chilwell. He's going to look to go forward, finding Mudryk. Can he get the ball? No, he can't get it to Osimhen, but he can find Madueke, who puts it in the back of the net. 5-0 up inside 30 minutes. West Ham are going to be so annoyed that they've got to play another hour of this game. And it's another goal kick for West Ham. We are dominating them today, but they do have a chance here as they've got the ball in their possession. For once, it seems like we're the only ones who are really out there at the moment playing football. But as Alberto Moreno and Reece James goes flying in and ends up somehow winning the ball, even though it looked like a bit of a rash challenge, I can't lie. Colwell now going forward to Caicedo, who finds Chilwell. Finding Nkunku, looking for Mudryk here. He goes forward to Osimhen, and he shoots and scores from there. I got a funny feeling he was offside, though. He made his run early and then stepped back, and I think he might just be offside. If this is given, though, he could well be on for the goal's disallowed. I mean, it's still possible. So there's half-time. We're 5-0 up, which is just absolutely crazy. I don't know how Nkunku isn't happy with what I just said there. Let's see if we can... No, okay, he's just confused. We're going to send them out for the second half. Like I said, we've got ages until the next game, so we're only really worried about taking players off once they get really knackered in terms of injury. West Ham have the ball now. We're 66 minutes into this game. Haaland has scored a pen in the Man City game, so I think it's pretty much over for Osimhen, but he's certainly going to try and keep up with him, and he scored another goal here, an assist for Reece James. I might have to leave Osimhen on, I can't really justify bringing him off when he's chasing that golden boot against all odds. Realistically, you wouldn't think this is possible, and West Ham nearly get one back there, but Diogo Costa with a good save, and we just cannot win a header at the moment. Callum Hudson-Odoi does manage to get a goal against us. If there's anyone I don't mind scoring when we're 6-1 up, it's going to be Callum. And this will be the last highlight of the game here as we see some of our substitutes combining. Gnabry on the ball, finding Madueke, ball in the box, but that's only for the West Ham goalkeeper, and 20 seconds left of of injury time. It looks like that will be that. And what a game, 6-1. I'm actually so okay with the fact that we let, if anyone, get a goal, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and apparently Soloth. He might have been offside, it did look close. But a huge win to end off the season and give us plenty of confidence to head into the Champions League game with, because, I mean, a 6-1 win doesn't get much better than that, really, does it? We don't need to see that one again. We can go to full time and see how the other games panned out. It was a hat-trick for Osimhen in the end, a valiant effort. He had one offside as well, so maybe if that was given, that would have given him a bit of a spur to go on and try and get the rest of the goals he needed. But this is how the final game week goes. Arsenal beat Everton, Bournemouth beat Newcastle, and Man United won their game 6-2. So they did overtake Newcastle to get into the Champions League next year. Brentford drew with Villa. Of course, there's our result. Tottenham getting a win against Palace. A draw between Fulham and Leicester. Liverpool with a huge 5-0 win. City ended up drawing their game 2-2, and Haaland did score 2, so it realistically was always going to be pretty much impossible for Osimhen to manage to get that golden boot. A good effort though across the season against Haaland, you know, of all guys to be chasing down. 40 Premier League goals for Victor Osimhen in the end, 45 for Haaland. Most assists, we'll take a look at these. This goes to Rodrigo, Kulusevski, and Reece James in third position, actually tied second in the end. So a good effort from him, Madueke, Ben Chilwell. Most player of the matches, of course, is going to be Erling Haaland, and he did take significantly more shots than Osimhen did. So maybe if Osimhen, you know, was available through all of the African Cup of Nations, you know, maybe it would have been possible. Fewest conceded, tied between Ederson and Alisson, but we're not far behind, only 2 goals extra in 4th place with Diogo Costa, and we stay 4th in the clean sheets record. So overall, I'm very, very happy with that. That was a fantastic season. We scored the most goals, and by a long shot as well. Man City were off it a little bit this year. Most shots, of course, was tied equal, wow, between us and Man City. So we are very much more clinical than Man City. We had the same shots taken, but, you know, 20 plus, or roughly 20 more goals than them. Most possession, we were fairly low down on that one, actually about 53%, but there's not much in it to the top, only 58%. Pass completion, we're nowhere to be seen, so it shows that we try ambitious passing. We're all the way down in 12th for that. Tackles won, we're not up there. You wouldn't expect so from an attacking team. Dribbles made, again, that's not our style of play, really. Most conceded, or fewest conceded, we are of course just behind Liverpool and Man City, and the most clean sheets goes to Man City. So those are the Premier League sort of stats. We'll see, I guess, some of the Premier League awards and stuff, but there's a huge game still on the horizon for us, and it is that Champions League final, which is coming up next. Oh, and that is massive news. Guardiola has been sacked by Manchester City after that result, and I guess after losing the league, that is some expectation they have in that if you don't win the league, you get sacked. That is a huge job that is now available, and it was a poor last 2 months for sure, but maybe even the last 3 months, really not great for them. Whereas we sort of just got stronger towards the end of the season. You can see we had a blip in the middle, of course, during January when we lost most of our best players through injury and the African Cup of Nations. But either side of that, we looked very, very strong. So I think we are definitely deserved winners. So there it is, confirmation. Haaland won the Golden Boot. Fair enough, he had a fantastic season. I won Manager of the Year, and Win Stanley is very proud of us. And in the team of the season, we had Ben Chilwell, Fofana, Reece James, Nkunku, Madueke, and Osimhen. So a fantastic showing from us this season, displacing Manchester City from their throne on the Premier League. What was it? I think it was 4 or 5 seasons in a row in which Man City won the Premier League, and we've thrown ourselves at the top of the pile. And Liverpool go on to win the FA Cup, a 4-1 win in the final against Leicester. So Liverpool are winners of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Fair play to them. They've done well. Looking at the semi-finals, they had Middlesbrough and Luton in there. Wow, they had a pretty good run to the final. I can't even remember. Oh, we went out in the 3rd round against Brighton, didn't we? I remember it now. It's because it was in January when all of our injuries and all of our players left to play international football. So we realistically could have won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup if, you know, that sort of period in January didn't happen. But I got no problems with that. We won the Premier League, which is of course the creme de la creme of the sort of domestic competitions, and we're in the final of the biggest competition of them all. Nicholas Jackson and Osimhen were in the African 11 of the Year as well, which is a fantastic result for them. Both of them performed very, very well. We had, Koulibaly actually was the Defender of the Year, even though, of course, he's not a Chelsea player anymore. Midfielder of the Year goes to Salah. I think that's a bit unfair. Nick Jackson was so good. Ziyech in there as well. You could make, all 3 of them previously have been Chelsea players. And then the striker, obviously, Osimhen is clear, so we'll go and congratulate him. That'll be a great honour for him. So here we are. It is game day at Wembley against Bayern Munich for the Champions League. And of course, we'll be going into this when we have to change back to positive after that last game in which we went a little bit crazy in an attempt to go and chase the Golden Boot with Osimhen, but it's now our time to shine. Hopefully, we will fill up the bench with Badiashile, Leonardo, and Chukwuemeka. Our team is fully fit, ready to go. Of course, Nkunku is the only one who isn't entirely sharp, but he's almost there. And of course, has been in good form for us this season anyway, so we're going to play him. And this is it, guys. This is the team's chance to go and cement themselves in history, be champions of the Premier League and champions of the Champions League. So let's go ahead and submit the team. And there it is. That is our starting 11, guys. Ready for the game. I'm very, very nervous. I want to win this one so badly. And then this is going to be the Bayern Munich team. So it's Wahi up front, Musiala, Muller. They've gone with that back five. Okay, they're definitely trying a little something with their tactics. I expect them to dominate the midfield. So if things don't look great for us, we will switch to our formation with three men in the midfield. But we find Mudryk early on here. On the left-hand side, as Caicedo is now on the ball, finding Mudryk once again, driving into the box, and he shoots, and it's a good save from Neuer. Chilwell with a free kick now, ready to whip this one in at the back post. He does, but no one on the end of it for us. Fofana wins it back for us, though. That's our dominant centre-back. And now Enzo driving down the left-hand side. Chilwell getting in his way a little bit and has caused him to lose the ball. Unfortunately, it's now Wahi going forward. Now Alphonso Davies, Reece James trying to keep up with him. He's kept him busy, but he's going to try and cut this back. Reece James wins it, though. That is my right back. Madueke now driving down the right-hand side. Finds Nkunku, who finds Caicedo. Tries a forward pass, but he can't get it through. And now Muller goes flying in. Chilwell now on the left-hand side, going to try and make something for us. He's doing a great job of it in the box. And oh my gosh, Madueke with a shot. But it goes straight into the hands of Neuer. We're looking the better team based on the stats, but obviously the only stat that will matter by the end of this is who scored the most goals. As Upamecano now goes to De Ligt. Goretzka now on the ball. Kimmich, they're passing it around their back line, trying to find a bit of an opening to exploit and get over our midfield more than likely. Pavard now on the ball. They go out wide to Alphonso Davies, and now here's their chance to go forward. Musiala finds Weigl, and they do go over the top, but this is going to be our keepers to collect, and wow, he goes straight up the pitch, and it ends up with Neuer, and he drops it down and gives it to Pavard. They're definitely playing out the back today. Goretzka now on the ball finds Muller, and he goes over the top for Musiala. That's a great chance for him. Reece James clears it, and it goes straight off Wesley Fofana to Musiala. That is so unfortunate. And a bit of luck, and Musiala has scored against us. We will watch it back. That is so not what the game has been panning out like. Reece James does brilliantly, and it goes flying off Wesley Fofana for Musiala to header in. And that's half-time, so a very undeserved goal, but nevertheless, it counts all the same. So we have to go out there and score now. I'm going to tell him, show me something else. Like, that really was not good enough. Noni Madueke is having a poor game, so I'm going to make an early sub and bring on Gnabry. Hopefully he can, do his thing and get some sort of result for us in this game against his former club. We will drop Reece James back just a touch and then let Gnabry do his thing as an inside forward. We have a free kick now with Reece James. He's going to look to get us in this game if he can. Caicedo on the ball in the middle, almost losing it out there, but he keeps possession. Enzo now going forward to Gnabry, who finds a ball through for Osimhen. Can he finish here? No, he can't. We need to take one of these chances. Reece James now on this right-hand side again. He goes forward to Gnabry, and this is a great ball. He puts it across, and yes, it's in the back of the net against his former club. I knew that would be a good substitution to make. And that is exactly what we need to see. We're back on level terms. Reece James with a free kick here. He's going for the shot from range there. And that was definitely not the choice I wanted him to make. I would have liked him to just chip that over the back line and see if he could maybe get it onto one of our attackers. And it's another highlight here, though. We win that header, but it is Musiala finding Weigl on the ball, who goes out to Alphonso Davies, and it goes forward to Wahi. He has a chance now to get Bayern Munich back ahead in this game. Goretzka now on the edge of the box. He's dangerous from here. He shoots, and it's in off the crossbar. And that is a poor save attempt from Costa. And now we're going to have to go attacking to try and get back in this. Caicedo is not having his best game, and neither is Nkunku, realistically. So they'll be looking at potential substitutions in a moment. We do have the ball here, though, as Enzo now finds the ball on the edge of the box. He shoots, and Neuer with a great save there. It really looks like this could be the keepers that's going to win it for either side. Our keeper not being great, And Neuer has been fantastic for Bayern Munich today. The ball goes into the box, but we cannot win that header. It finds Gnabry on the edge here. Big deflection. Osimhen can't turn and get a shot off. And like I was saying, it is Neuer that's keeping them in this. You can see he's on a 7.6 rating. We are running out of time. It is now Caicedo that's going to come off for Conor Gallagher. I don't really want to bring Osimhen off. He is a big game player. I'm going to bring Nkunku off behind him for Chukwuemeka. Actually, what I'll probably do instead is bring on Lavia to play box-to-box, and then Conor Gallagher further up the pitch in the shadow striker role. Wesley Fofana's having a bad game, so you know what? Disasi, oh my god, no, he's nervous. I'm not doing that. I'm not bringing on a nervous player in a cup final. Do I risk it with Badiashile on the right-hand side? Yeah, I'm going to do it because he's a good aerial presence as well. Oh my gosh, Osimhen has just scored. Oh my gosh, after I finished making all those substitutions, there was a highlight in the background. I thought it was one of those things where it just sort of plays a random bit of the game for you, but it's actually a goal. Mudryk here, going out wide to Gnabry. I was barely paying attention. A ball first time here over to Osimhen, who chips it up and then takes it over Neuer to finally get a goal back for us. And we are now 2-2 against Bayern. We really shouldn't have let them score any goals based on XG. We're going to confirm our changes and look to go ahead and win this game in the last 20 minutes if we can. We have a corner now. Chilwell whips it in, looking for Colwill, but he can't win that header. We never seem to win headers. Chilwell has another chance here, though. He puts it into the box, but it comes flying out. And really, no one's going to go and get that. Okay, Enzo does. Mudryk on the ball now, driving towards the box. He goes all on his own, and it's a poor shot straight into the hands of Neuer. Neuer decides to throw it out to Pavard here, and now Stach, I don't know who that guy is, but we win it back with Conor Gallagher here. He finds Lavia in the middle of the pitch, putting it forward for Mudryk. It's Osimhen. He shoots, and it is blocked by Upamecano, and that is another corner for Chelsea. This is so tense at the moment. We are all over them, but we just cannot get that vital goal. Colwill rising for that one, but he can't win it. Goes out to Chilwell, who finds Gnabry, who finds Mudryk on the right-hand side, but he loses out. And we win possession back again, but that's the end of that highlight. 2 minutes left in this game, and Kimmich whips a ball in, and oh my god, it's disaster. Diogo Costa has just fumbled the bag, I tell you that for sure. We're going to send as many people forward as we can, but we've got a couple minutes left to get a goal back in this game, and quite honestly, our keeper has cost us the game, and that is full time. I mean, it's almost a replay of the Bayern 2012 game for Chelsea, where we were in their backyard, we went and won it when they were the dominant team. It's almost a replay of it. This was in Wembley. We were the dominant team on the night, but no one's going to remember that. People will remember Bayern Munich being the team that won the Champions League against Chelsea. I'm going to tell them unlucky. I don't really believe it was bad luck. I think it was bad finishing more than anything. If we take a look at the stats, if we can get out of this, go to the schedule page and take a look. We should have done so much better here. They didn't even have a 1xG. 9 shots for them, 23 for us. And it was just poor finishing on the night, and a 93rd minute goal is what seals the Champions League win for Bayern Munich. That is such a disappointing result. Ultimately, I really do think that just came down to Diogo Costa. That was a really poor performance when it mattered, and if you look at Neuer on a 7.4, he was the difference maker there. So, a bit of disappointment there. We end the season knocked out of both cups and the Champions League final. We do not win, but we've gone and won the Premier League, and a bit of a canter in the end. 8 points clear in the Premier League. That is a fantastic performance from us. The Champions League final is always going to feel like a bit of a sting, especially when Gnabry comes on and has a brilliant performance against his old club. But that is how the cookie crumbles. So a disappointing one there. We will do the sort of end of season awards and stuff like that. We'll take a look at when the season sort of gets curtailed, and yeah, that'll be that. And here it is, our end of season review. So we end the season with the Premier League trophy. That in itself is huge. I'm so gutted about the Champions League, especially when we played fantastically, just could not finish our dinner. Osimhen getting 50 goals this season and 3 assists. Marcus Leonardo, they say this is a bad deal. I don't see how it is, because we bought him for 18 million and he's currently valued at about 30 to 40 million, and he's just a good player for us to have. Gnabry with 7 goals, 7 assists in the end, not awful. And Diogo Costa, whilst he was fantastic all season for us, I'm very much questioning his performance in that final. These are the players that we obviously sold, so how did they get on? Ziyech doing very well in Juventus, Sterling doing pretty well at PSG, Trevor Chalobah at Madrid, Robert Sanchez. You can take a look through some of these if you'd like to. Looking at some of the stats on the right-hand side, Calvin Hudson-Odoi, 7 goals, 7 assists there, so good from him. Obviously in the Premier League, we know how good we did. It was a fantastic season for us overall. I'm over the moon with it. It was fantastic for us in the Champions League as well, up until that final. The only games we lost were against Bayern, and then Bayern again in the final, which is so disappointing to go through Liverpool, Real Madrid, and then lose to Bayern. The FA Cup was disappointing, but it was in January, I think, when we had that game. Yeah, it was the 13th of January. And then the Carabao Cup getting knocked out again in January. January is definitely a bit of a sticky spot for us with all of our players leaving and all of the injuries we had. Our biggest win was a 7-1 win against Real San Sebastian. The match to remember, for some reason, a 5-0 against Everton. I personally don't remember it. And our goal of the season was from Madueke in this game in the 55th minute. So we'll go and take a look at the goal of the season, according to our fans. Whether it was any good, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But overall, very, very happy with how the season has gone. And this is the goal of the season. So it's Madueke from here on the right-hand side. Does he shoot here, maybe? I mean, it's a good goal. I wouldn't say that's anywhere close to our best goal of this season. Finance-wise, everything improving, which is very, very nice to see. Competition prize money improving massively. So we should be good in terms of the financials. And this was our best team. And I think I'd agree and maybe swap Caicedo for Gallagher, but Gallagher was fantastic for us this season. So overall, very, very happy. This is the fans' player of the season. Of course, it's going to be Victor Osimhen. This is how many sort of awards we won personally. And yeah, I'm very happy with that. These are the awards on the right-hand side then of all of the records broken and things like that. So overall, I am over the moon, but light dampener on that Champions League final. So guys, if you did enjoy this one, if you did enjoy this whole season, this whole series, please leave a like on it, hit subscribe, and you'll never miss any of my future videos. Whether we'll continue this, I'm not sure, because of course we've got FM24 coming out later this month, and I want to start a series up for that, so we might end this series here. I'm eager to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below, but that could be the end. So if it is, thank you for watching, thank you for being there for the journey. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.